Let's talk about the Giga Press. It's the real deal weapon that Elon got his hands on to change the face of electric vehicles, or should I say, change the face of vehicles all around. This is an extremely new way of making automobiles. If you did not know that, the Model Y is the best-selling vehicle by Tesla and needed a faster, more proficient manufacturing process too. But did Tesla come up with this casting technique on its own? No, indeed. It has actually been a process that car companies have implemented since the beginning of vehicle manufacturing. Well, the motor companies that we know today as the greats, such as Ford, GMs, and the likes, they actually used casting to make engine and transmission casings, but casting has never been implemented for a large structural section of a vehicle frame until the brain of three men united that changed the face of vehicle production. What do I mean by that? Well, we will unlock that information in this video. Now let's go. Well, first off, we need to talk about a man by the name of Monroe, which is an automotive engineer who specializes in machine tool and manufacturing. He started off as a tool maker at a Valiant Machine and Tool Company, a General Motors supplier in Windsor, Ontario in 1978. He joined the Ford Motor Company where he improved methods of engine assembly. But one day, many years later, after starting up his own company, him and his team started to review a Tesla vehicle by the name of the Model 3. Before this, he had examined other electric cars, including the Chevrolet Bolt, Jaguar I-Pace, and his team found that the Tesla cars had innovative and unusual electronics and amazing power engineering, but poor bodywork and production design. So he got Elon's attention. Him and Elon had something in common. They both have colorful mechanic speech. As they collaborated, they also talked about adjusting and tweaking the design for better productivity. But there is one more piece missing, which we find at Idra, located in Italy. They are well known for their casting and innovation. In 2000, they filed a patent for application for die casting machines designed to produce two separate castings simultaneously from a single injection of liquid metal. Keep in mind, in 2000, now that was the same year that Elon went through forming eBay, which in 2002 sold for $1.5 billion. Riccardo Ferrario from Italy and the general manager of Idra Group teamed up with Elon. The result? All their smart people, they sat down in a room and they came up with something epic. Keep in mind as well that the Giga Press that Idra, their group, came up with is not a mimic of the Gigafactory that Tesla already had. What a coincidence though. They both were using that same coin name, Giga. So we can say the Italian job began, aka Giga Press heads to Tesla to cast larger sections of vehicles. Once finished, the smoke started to settle. Riccardo Ferrario has posted a few videos highlighting his excitement related to Idra's incredible achievements. He said, the machine took years to develop, and it put Idra's years ahead of the competition. Ferrario said he wanted to make the Ferrari of casting machines, something that was instantly iconic and reliable. Elon mentioned, when we were trying to figure this out, there were 6 major casting manufacturers in the world. We called 6. 5 said no, 1 said maybe. I was like, that sounds like a yes. So with a lot of effort and great ideas from the team, we made the world's biggest casting machine work very efficiently to create and radically simplify the manufacturing for the car. But hold up, what does Giga mean? Well, if we type in Giga in the web, Giga is the unit of measure representing billion. Giga is derived from the Greek word meaning giant. They also are notable for being the largest high-press die casting machines in the world, with a clamping force of 5,600 to 6,200 pounds. Imagine that. Each machine weighs 410 to 430 tons. That's 900,000 to 950,000 pounds. So let's break down the principles of how this works. The die casting works basically like this: forcing molten metal alloy inside a reusable mold, then opening the mold to remove the finished piece after it has solidified. At the beginning of each casting cycle, robots spray soybean oil in a thin layer inside of each half of the mold to allow separation later, like we do with waffle iron when we're making waffles, or when we're spraying our pan when we're making pancakes. So now we need metal to apply to the press, which is to be melted. Tesla uses primarily two metals, aluminum and silicone, which helps us to see that Tesla's chassis is made of an alloy. Now the metal is set to around 850 degrees Celsius or 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit until liquid. Next, it is pushed into a molding using the plunger. The larger the mold, the more chance for error. If you press too fast, the mold will have bubbles in the metal. And if you press too slow, the metal will cool before the die is filled and the structure will be incomplete. You have to keep in mind that this machine is the size of a small house. It is humongous. What could go wrong though? Well, let's say that you place a hot metal in a mold, but you don't have the right amount of clamping force. Well, that could be catastrophic. Imagine that 1,600 degree Fahrenheit metal bursting outside of the mold. Yes, that's no good at all. The clamping force of the Giga Press is 6,200 pounds, which contains the mold. And there you have it. Tesla, you're almost done with your first casting and molding for the Model Y. Imagine the feeling they had when they first had a successful run. So the mold opens and the raw casting is removed at 400 degrees Celsius or 750 degrees Fahrenheit. The robot reaches in and removes the casting, placing it in a quenching tank to reduce the temperature from 400 to 50 degrees Celsius or 750 degrees Fahrenheit to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. A mechanical trim press cuts the approximate edge, with excess aluminum being recycled back into the melting oven. The remaining useful parts of the casting is X-rayed to check the internal structure, trimmed by laser, drilled for fittings, and then computer measured for accuracy. It's a beauty. Looks like these brains actually collaborated for something great. The car is now made of two casting pieces. That involves the chassis portion of the Model Y and the front section. In between those two, there is where you notice the new designed battery, the 4680 pack, which helps to support the car and acts as its own structural unit thanks to this upgraded battery cell. But the question is, what does this mean for Tesla? Well, efficiency, productivity, effectiveness, and cost effectiveness. Now, Tesla can go from using 70 small parts to one part. That is very significant. By using the Giga Press, Tesla uses 300 less robots, so that's less maintenance. They don't have to set them up, program them, make sure that they're bolted down. So this cuts down on using 100 different parts that they would have to ship in as well from different locations to assemble. Well, it's going so well that they will use a Giga Press for casting machines such as the Cybertruck unibody, but that press is a 9,000 ton press. The 9,000 ton Giga casting machine by Idra is not for the Cybertruck underbody casting, it is for the Cybertruck body shell, as Elon Musk has confirmed in a Twitter post. So when Tesla built out their new production lines at the latest Gigafactories in Austin, Texas, Berlin, Germany, they saved installing 600 robots by instead using 4 Giga Presses. That's a game changer. This means faster production times and lower costs. We can see this reflected in the company's financial results. Tesla's gross margin for vehicles in Q1 in 2022 was a staggering 32.9% increase. But for electric vehicles in a relatively new company, that is amazingly fast. Earlier this year, Ford Motors admitted that they do not make any money from selling the electric Mustang Mach-E. In fact, they probably take a loss on most of their sales. Tesla's net profit for the financial year in 2021 was up to $3.3 billion US. That's just slightly behind Toyota that same year, who made $393 billion US. And Toyota sold nearly 10 million cars in 2021. Tesla just sold under 1 million. But what about the conversion cycle? What is that? This is essential because it actually is the time that it takes for the company to turn cash into vehicles and then to convert it back into money. So from expenses to product to profit. Tesla's cash conversion cycle for 2021 was negative 15 days. So that means that their cars were sold before they even were able to get the inventory. By comparison, Toyota had a cash conversion cycle in 2021 of 31 days, and a competitor like Volkswagen had a cash conversion cycle of 74 days. So point being that Tesla does things differently and they profit massively. That's probably not an accident. And game changer innovation like the Giga Press is what keeps them at the top of their game. Some people in the industry have been critical of the cost associated with the potential repairs in the event of an accident. This has led to questions whether Tesla is leading a new way for the auto industry to build cars in the future, or if it was a fool's errand. But in a Twitter post, Elon replied, "Crash absorption rails can be cut off and replaced with a bolted part for collision repair." But now it looks like other automotive makers are willing to give this casting a shot, especially in China. The New York Times published a report on Liu Xiong, an engineer behind LK Technology, a partner in Tesla casting technology. Liu said that he is working with 6 Chinese automakers to deploy similar casting technologies as soon as next year. In addition to Tesla, LK will supply similar giant casting machines to 6 Chinese companies by early 2022 as more automakers adopt Tesla's way of making cars, Mr. Liu says. However, the engineer suggests that they might run into some issues. For all China's progress, it still has a long way to go. LK hopes to deliver the same type of casting machines to many Chinese companies in the next 2 years. But some of those companies are struggling to find car designers of the type and talent that Tesla has amply. Without the designs, LK can't deliver the machines. Aside from designs, other automakers might also run into some issues with material. Tesla has long invested in material science to develop its own alloy to support such large casting parts. The automaker even partnered with SpaceX to share material science talents to develop those alloys. Hopefully, you've learned something today from this collaboration with Idra and the Giga Press. Yes, that of these 3 men working together. They're in Tesla, the Idra Group, and also Monroe. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Will Tesla continue to progress with all of these changes they're implementing? Also, if you want to learn more about the Tesla bot, then you should check out this video right here. And if you want to learn about the Cybertruck and the Cybertruck Mini, check out this file right here. This is a new channel, so feel free to hit the like button and sign our AI support. Let us know what to do.
Click the link and subscribe because we have those fire updates on What's Lock 'em Key.